Welcome to BPEC YouTube channel. Let's learn about data science roadmap. So detailed data science roadmap. So which includes even which textbooks one need to learn. So in order to make a successful transition into data science. So before we are going through all the skill sets. So here I divided entire data science roadmap into 4 parts. So business acumen skills, math concepts, data warehousing concepts, and even a software development concepts. Before we are getting into it, we all know AI is growing like crazy. For example, if you look into this particular news, people are stating that. So, which means like here you can see 4 billion means like which is means like overall AI market is around $4 billion in 2023, and they projected that it's going to be around 15 billion by 2030. So this is the news. And again, the major growth is happening because of even generative AI will create more jobs, but with certain expertise. Now, generative AI is booming like crazy. If you look into the entire market, even if you go and check LinkedIn, so there are more openings. For example, take data science with generative AI, data science manager with generative AI, AI with generative AI. So machine learning engineer. So most of the jobs are around AI, ML, generative AI. This kind of skills we are able to see more right now. So now generative AI is growing. Yes, we know that. So the demand for data science, AI, ML jobs are still there. But we all know one reality. Lakhs of people are getting trained on data science every year. So now when you compare from 2015 to right now, the market is like crazy right now. So there are a lot of data scientists, but everyone are jobless. Most of the people are jobless. Why they are jobless? So for example, they are watching a lot of roadmaps. Everyone. For example, whatever the roadmap I gave here, so people go, they learn it, they buy a textbook, they buy a Udemy course, or they buy a PG program, or they do an MS, or they may do means like entire data science in BTech data science or whatever it is. But still, why they are jobless? So let's try to understand that problem and let's try to fix it. So you can go back, you can work around that problem and you can fix it so that you are able to secure a successful transition, or you can make a successful transition into data science. So before we are working around it, so let's try to work on the data warehousing concepts. So whenever you are saying, hey, I'm learning data science, so you need to have a very good amount of knowledge on data warehousing concepts. On data warehousing concepts, you have concepts like SQL, data warehousing, and data lake. What is a data lake and what is a data warehouse? You need to know about OLTP and OLAP. You need to know about data modeling concepts like star schema design, snowflake schema design. You need to retrieve the data from data warehouses like SQL or a NoSQL, and you need to have an awareness on cloud-based. Why? The real-time data we are importing may not be very small like we find it in our regular internet. It's going to be huge. So having a cloud-based data warehouse knowledge is important. And then you are having a knowledge on Power BI, Tableau, and Excel. So like it's mostly like analytics. Whatever the data you collected, you are trying to analyze it. You are trying to grab some insights. So you need to have a knowledge on data visualization. So this skill set all comes into a data warehousing concept. So this is something one need to master to be a data scientist. All right, you mastered it. Then what type of questions I'm able to get in the interviews? You can expect questions related to SQL coding challenges. So they may give various questions on window functions. We call it as SQL coding challenges. So this going to be there. And the next part is like a software development. So in lines of software development, you need to learn Python. Especially in Python, you need to handle libraries like NumPy to perform matrix operations. You need to learn pandas. You need to learn scikit-learn to perform machine learning operations. You need to learn, for example, matplotlib to perform visualizations. You need to learn Seaborn in order to perform visualizations. You need to learn TensorFlow in order to perform deep learning operations especially. And you need to work on PyTorch. So if you are learning TensorFlow, you can learn PyTorch as well. That's not that difficult. Both are related. So these are the libraries one need to master to get into, means like especially into data science role. This libraries plays a crucial role. Apart from it, if you can work around DSA, that's not mandatory. If you can work around DSA as an optional thing, that would be an advantage. But that's not mandatory to be a DSA guy. And once it is done, you're working around Flask, which is also a library within Python in order to work on backend if you want to develop any web apps. With Python, we use Flask. And we have Streamlit, that is even a more easy way to create web apps. Even Streamlit is also a very good library to create web apps. And you need to learn about GitHub and Git for version controlling, which is very important skill. And then if you are working around MLOps is not mandatory. If you want to create a ML model end-to-end, then you need to work on MLOps. So MLOps, if you are doing, mostly we do it on cloud platforms like AWS, or we do it on Azure. So having a knowledge on these platforms is optional. I'm not saying that is mandatory to do it, but if you learn it, that's going to create an advantage. So very simple. The more skill set you have, and again, having a skill set may not help you. So I'm getting to that point. So the more skill set you have, you are proving to the market that you are trying to make yourself unique so that people may pick you. But in order to pick you, there are criteria. So now you worked on the software development. And once you learn the software development, then you need to be very good with the math concepts. So these math concepts are very important or crucial. Most of your interview questions come from this math concepts. So for data science role, so you need to learn stats, probabilities, Bayesian statistics. You need to work around machine learning algorithms like supervised learning, unsupervised learning, semi-supervised learning, self-supervised learning, reinforcement learning, these concepts. And you're working around classification algorithms, regression algorithms, model accuracy improving techniques, how you monitor your model, all this life cycle. And then you're working on NLP, we call it as text analytics. So like working on classification models within NLP. So like you can create word-to-vec models, you can create topic modeling. So all these concepts, you are trying to work around it. And once you learn NLP, then you need to learn about high-level generative AI. The reason the market is all inclined towards generative AI, having a high-level knowledge on generative AI, maybe like prompt engineering, doing few prompt engineering like one shot or single shot, few shot, this kind of prompt, if you can do it, and handling the prompt templates and working on RAG architectures, that base level knowledge on data means generative AI going to help you to get into the market. But to work on that generative AI, if you have a bit of deep learning knowledge, that would be an advantage. So work around even deep learning. So these math concepts are important and you need to be very confident on this math. So most of your interview questions come from this particular math concepts. And then we have the business acumen skills. The business acumen skills, eloquency, confidence, and flexibility. So the business acumen skill is like the very simple goal. All the skills you are learning right here, how someone can learn it in simple. For example, before I'm touching this business acumen skills, let me touch upon the textbooks. For example, whatever the roadmap I just said. So you can get this textbooks maybe through like from Amazon or something, you're able to get it. Now you want to learn stats from the math concepts. So you can use this textbook to learn math concepts. So related to statistics, Bayesian. And if you want to work on machine learning, you can refer to this textbook. So in order to work around machine learning. And if you want to learn, I said some libraries like scikit-learn, TensorFlow, like even mostly like NumPy, Panda. So if you want to work around machine learning, you can use this textbook to work around your machine learning skills. And you can use this Python data analysis, so mostly to work around NumPy library and a Pandas library. So this textbook's going to help you to get a good knowledge or a foundational knowledge on data science and all these topics. This textbook's going to help you to build that. So most of the theory you are able to get it. Now here, there is a trade-off. What is that? So Kant, I can buy a textbook, I can be a data scientist. Everyone can be a data scientist. Now, that's true. Now, but the interviewers are more intelligent people, I feel. The reason in the textbooks you have what is ML, what is supervised learning, why supervised learning is missing. So like what is unsupervised learning and a code around it, you got it. But the interviewers ask you why you selected, for example, decision tree algorithm. Why you selected that particular data. Why you selected that particular problem statement. We don't have the questions to that. So that is the major problem. So we all know ML. We all can code ML. We all can work on Python. But they ask you why you have done this. And how you decided that is the right approach. So that is the questions they're going to ask it. So now that's the reason you can buy the textbooks, you can learn them, but work around the question of why you are learning this, why you are doing this. That is something very important. And apart from it, as I said, there are various ways someone can learn. For example, if you take I can be a data scientist or I can be a data analyst by learning various ways. So what are the ways? For example, let me show you. Now I can take up this, whatever the textbook I said, I can take up the textbook. I can buy, for example, maybe like textbook, or I can refer to a YouTube channel. I can refer to maybe like Udemy, and I can learn it. Or the second way is I can go and I can enroll for a certification. What does it mean? For example, you're believing if I have a PG certificate, I can get a job. Or if I go to the abroad and if I do a master's, I'm able to get a job. Or if I directly start my undergraduation from data science, that's going to help me to get a job. That is also a good idea. And the third is like already people who already from mechanical or electrical or pharmacy or various other domains, if they want to be a data scientist still, they can be a data scientist. You don't need to get into the certificates or all this. So you can just take up some course. Or you are learning it from an institute. So any of these ways. So you are able to learn it. But here my question is, all the people are learning. So means like lakhs of people are getting trained on data science through textbooks, YouTubes, Udemy's, or PGs, or masters, or UGs, and lakhs of people are getting trained through courses or training institutes. But still, why all the people are jobless? Majority of the people are finding difficulty to crack a job. Why? So they are able to learn all the skills. So like even learners are having in the same dilemma. Man, I know whatever the roadmap you said, I know all this. Whatever the stuff you gave me here, I know every inch of it. So the every point you placed, yes, I can relate. I know that. I can just work on it. I can just do the coding around it. But still, why am I jobless? The simple question is, people lack this part. So most of the people lack the business part, or we can say the value. Now what people do, now for example, if I want to learn data science or if I want to code around data science, I can just go to this browser. I can just search for Kaggle and I'm able to get various data sets. So machine learning and deep learning, very exact machine learning data science community where you are able to get a lot of data sets. You can work around it, you can practice it. Those data set doesn't have a value. So what is a value? So now every work you do in company, for example, you are learning Gen AI. So now there is a point. Let me just show you. For example, let's take this cup. This cup is having a deliverable. What does it mean by a deliverable? The purpose of this cup is I'm going to use this cup at a very high temperature where I want to boil my green tea or a coffee, and I want to place it inside a oven. Now, if this cup cannot do those activities, I may not buy this cup. I'll be just throwing aside. Why? So now the purpose of this cup is to use it in an oven or whatever it is, and I want to maintain the temperature. In the similar way, that is a deliverable of this cup. Now, the deliverable of this video is to give you an idea about what you need to learn to make a successful transition into data science. So that is a deliverable. Now, if you take a phone, there is a deliverable. If you take a laptop, there is a deliverable. Now, you are learning a skill. Learning a skill is not a deliverable. You know Python, but that's not a deliverable to a company. Why? A company can train people on Python. Means like if they host a training, so like in a go, like they can make 100 to 200 Python certified people. That's not a problem for them. Again, 100 to 200 data science people, they can train it and they can use it in their company. They don't need to, means like hire for a data scientist. So the reason they are going and hiring a data scientist is not for actually a skill set alone, but a kind of a deliverable. What do you mean by a deliverable is a data scientist who is having some experience, he can use all the three skills and he is able to create a value around it. So now, the purpose of data science is by applying a data science into a company, I may be able to get a profits, or I'm able to cut down my expenses, or I'm able to increase the efficiency of my process, or I'm able to identify a right decision with the help of a data scientist. By making that decisions, I'm able to make a great business, or I can make a better decisions in my business. That is the basic idea. Now, people are good with Python. I know Python very well. I know machine learning very well. I know Power BI very well. I know stats very well. I know ML very well. But how you use them in a business, they don't know. They are clueless. Means like they don't even know how they're going to use all this in a real time. They don't know. How they're going to use all this in a business, they don't know. So based on a business, based on the client, how I need to choose the right thing. Based on the budget, how I need to go for it. For example, here I gave deep learning. Now, in order to solve a problem, I can use machine learning. I can use deep learning. So now, if you for example, if you are going back and using deep learning, it's going to increase your overall budget. Overall project budget going to be increased by using deep learning. By using the same ML, the budget can be reduced. So now the computational power can be reduced. So why someone is deciding how someone can decide between machine learning and deep learning, or how someone can go and apply generative AI. So now every problem, so for a problem, you can apply only data analytics. For some problems, you need to apply ML. For some problems, you need to apply DL. So now what people lack is, they know ML, but they lack when to use it. They know stats, but they lack when to use it. They know Python, they lack when to use it. So you need to work around the value creation, using all the skills and developing a business use case or creating a use case in your resume, going to help you to get shortlisted in your resume. So if you want to be shortlisted in your resume, you need to have a right relevant use case. So when people are going and searching, so they are stopping on your resume. Very simple. Take your resume or your jobs more like a phone. For example, let's take your phone. You're browsing social media. So what makes you to hold on a particular post? In simple, right? In the similar way, like people are browsing your LinkedIn or the resumes. So what makes someone to hold on your resume? Simple. So it's not just about learning whatever someone says. It's more about what makes someone to stop in your resume. So like, is there a point in your resume that someone going to stop? In case no, like you may not get your job, or your resume may not be shortlisted. So what makes someone to stop on your resume is the point. So if you're seeing your resume, what's there? Something unique. Why? Lakhs of people are learning the same skill. Lakhs of people are learning from same institute. Lakhs of people are learning from same PG programs. What makes someone to stop on your resume and to hit a call to you? That's the point. That's the key. You need to fix it. Only the way is like the use cases. If you can work around the use cases, you are able to fix that problem. So the more the complex the use case, so the better the use case is, the better the business value going to be. So now once you have a better business value, it's not just about business value. So you need to convince your clients. You need to say that, hey, this is the right one we need to implement. In order to do that, you need to have an eloquency. So eloquency is like you are using your skills to convince someone. So you need to have a right eloquency so that you can convince someone, man, whatever we've done, it's going to help your business. So eloquency. You need to have a confidence. When you don't have a confidence, whatever you're learning, if you're learning in a high level Python, like I don't have time, I'm a busy guy, I'm a working professional. If you come with an excuse, it's tough to get into the market. So you need to be confident. So the brilliant knowledge you have it, the brilliant, you can crack it. So very simple. So when someone is hiring you, they shouldn't be disappointed with your output. So you need to be confident. You know what exactly I can do with ML. You're confident enough to write an algorithm. You're confident enough to fix it. You're confident enough to convince someone. So the confidence. And last, flexibility. How you can develop a flexibility by learning all the skill set. Oh my God, data science is not that one simple tool. Learn it, get a job. So you're learning a lot. Practically speaking, you're learning a lot. So by learning a lot in a short span, you're developing flexibility. If a new tool comes, you can learn it. If you want to explore AWS, you can do that. If you want to work on Google platform, you can do that. A new tool came, hey, it's a Databricks. You need to go and work there. You can do that. Why? So like you are trying to have that flexibility by learning all the skill set. So now if you can build all this, you can make a successful transition. The very simple key of making a successful transition is only one thing. So in this entire market, people are busy in browsing. People are busy in browsing. So how can I able to grab the attention of a person, at least for a minute? If you can grab it for a minute, he's going to hook on to you and he is able to pick you for his job role. So how can you make someone to see you? That is the key. So like that's the reason why there is a lot of skills just to make sure that someone can see you. So like even though you are learning all that, if you are unable to be getting noticed into the market, the problem is with your visibility, you need to work around that. I hope you got a clear idea. So in order to be a data scientist, a complete roadmap is you need to work on 4 elements. The very first element, software development. Second element, data warehousing. Third element, math concepts. And the fourth element is your business acumen skills. No matter from where you are learning, whether you are learning from internet, whether you are learning it from a YouTube, or you are learning it from a training institute, or you are learning it from a PG, UG, or whatever it is, the end goal is how you can make yourself visible. How can you make someone to stop at your profile? And if they are stopping at your profile, they shouldn't feel regret. Hey, why I just called him for an interview. They need to feel, oh my God, I'm blessed to have him in my interview. So be confident, give your skills extraordinary. You're able to get hired for sure. So like always play the game, always be extraordinary. That is the key. If you are extraordinary, you're able to make a transition with ease. If you are preparing everything at a high level, it's tough to make a transition in this world right now. So try to work around it. I hope you can make a successful transition. So in case if you want any other videos, please share your views in the comment section. I can make a video around it. And in case if you like this content, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you like it, please do share. Thank you.